What's going on, everybody? This is a new game, the Anacrusis. It just launched in game preview over on Xbox. You can download it for free on the Xbox Game Pass. And it just launched this Friday, January 14th. And I want to give you guys my impressions on this Left 4 Dead style. This is probably what we imagine this space to look like in the 1950s-ish kind of game. And I want to tell you guys my brutally honest impressions of this game. Alright, I'm going to waste no time getting into my opinions on this game. The moment I loaded it up, the controls are atrocious. The controls are really atrocious. The controls feel like a badly ported PC game. And when I mean that, there is massive acceleration. It has acceleration on the thumbsticks, which is disgusting and horrible. It does not feel good. Honestly, I had to immediately go into my settings, turn off acceleration, and then probably spent about 10 minutes or so playing with the sensitivity, trying to get it to a point where you can see it now. This is aiming sensitivity with no acceleration, about 15%. It is insanely fast. It does not feel good. The movement also does not feel good. It feels kind of herky-jerky. There's a lot of things that get caught on. A lot of things slow you down, and I'm still not sure why these Left 4 Dead style games, these sort of wave survival type games, refuse to add a sprint button. I'm not sure. And this game just doesn't control well. It doesn't, from the outset, the moment I gained control of my character, I was very unimpressed. And because of the way the shooting and aiming feels, it makes accuracy feel kind of weird, and it was more of a spray and pray situation. To me, it was just like, I'm just gonna hammer the trigger and aim where I need to aim at the enemies, and we're just gonna go from there. I don't feel like when I was in the heat of a fight, I had a lot of control over where I was aiming, because the sensitivity is just all weird. It does not feel good on a controller. Like 10,000%. It feels... I've played bad PC ports before, and this is a bad PC port. This was not, in my opinion, tested very well on console and for controller. Now, I am also very much aware that this is the launch day. The game just launched. But boy, it's got some weird performance issues. I was experiencing a lot of frame rate drops, a lot of hitching. I had a couple of weird bugs where I got kind of like half phased into the ground and my controls got all messed up. Yet again, not a huge knock against the game. It just released on game preview. If this was a full release, I would be asking for a refund somewhere, because we're in the day and age where games are releasing in unfinished states. And I know you can slap game preview or alpha or early builds on games to get away with the fact that your game isn't complete, and you use kind of the consumer as your beta testers. But this is like weird. This game to me feels entirely incomplete. And I'm going to kind of switch focus here. I'm going to go over to what content is available kind of right now. And I'm gonna. This is kind of my. There's some big issues here. Aside of the fact that the game, as I've said, I'm gonna keep saying it, is a bad PC port. there's some content issues here as well. Now, what do I mean by content issues? I'm not gonna say that for lack of content, it does come with the first 3 chapters of the game, and the chapters are of decent length. They are decent length and they're replayable. I'm not gonna knock it there. Not knocking it there. You only have 4 like core weapons to choose from, that you can pick up. There's like an SMG, an assault rifle, a shotgun. The pistol is really bad. And then you have sort of like heavy weapon pickups. There's an arc rifle, a laser rifle, and a turret. The turret you can put down and it shoots for you. And then there's a variety of grenades. The grenades feel fine. That's cool. The weapons, there's no variety. They picked the most garden variety stuff they could imagine. This is a sci-fi game where they could have picked anything and came up with things and made things more interesting, and instead it was generic SMG, shotgun, pistol, assault rifle. Why? It's super generic. It's boring. It doesn't lend itself to a lot of exciting gameplay, in my opinion. And it's just lacking. I feel like when I play sci-fi games, I want to see more unique things. And this game has a unique aesthetic and has some cool stuff going on, but the lack of any sort of interesting weaponry kind of just like dampens it for me. You know what I mean? That I was hoping to have some cool, like, you look at this ray gun, beep beep beep. Like there should have been some more interesting, like 1950s-esque, like sci-fi weapons instead of just your bread and butter type weapons. And speaking of bread and butter, you have your bread and butter type enemies. You have your classic swarmer that runs around and smacks the living crap out of you. The brute, which they are extremely liberal with, by the way. You will fight lots of brutes, and when they hit you, you sort of just teleport. There's no, it's like the acceleration on their hits is so fast that you're in one spot and then you're in a different spot. It is bizarre. It is weird and like really sort of disorientating when it happens. And then now I'm going to get into the other types. And this is where some of my irritation with this game comes in. You have the grabber. Classic grabber. They don't even have a fun name for it. It's just a grabber. The reach on this thing is insane. And I'm talking really insane. I mean, this thing can grab you from so far away that you have no idea it was even there. Okay, that's fine. There's the goobler, or whatever the heck they call it, that hits you with goo. Well, it's annoying for the fact that, one, when it hits you with goo, it slows you down. But also, if it hits you directly, you get stuck. So, I mean, I know it's classic, but having multiple enemy types that can kind of take you out of the fight is a bit frustrating, especially when they throw lots of specials at you at one time. And I mean, on terms of difficulty, that's fine. That's fine. But boy, does it get frustrating. There was times where I got wiped and there was no chance. Like, we all got gooed or grabbed immediately, and it was like, well, we're all down now. And then I'm going to get to the last special type. The last special type that is really annoying. There's like a spawner that like runs around and drops like these orb things, and they like shoot at you, and that thing, it's fine. That one's not a hassle. But the flasher doesn't do what you think it does. The flasher doesn't like hit you with a flash and then, no, it is this eye-burning bright, like it is painfully bright light this enemy just runs around with. And it is annoying as hell. It is super, super bright. It is literally painful on the eyes. It would have been better had that enemy run up and actually flashed you than what it does. It is just not good. It is not fun to fight against, and all it does is cause irritation. Now the AI is bad. I've played a few matches so far, and let me tell you, when I played with a full stack of people, the game went well. It was fun. The game you are seeing now in the background, we had a full stack and 2 of them quit. And let me tell you what, the AIs are bad. They're dumb. They have no tactical acumen whatsoever. They fall off ledges. They stand there and get beat on. They'll stop you in the middle of a fight to heal you, and you stop, by the way, so you stuck. And the AI is they're just bad. The AI is such a detriment to you. They're more of a detriment than a help at this point. Like, I would probably have been better off almost running around by myself. And it's just, they're just, oof. Ugh. They need some serious rework of the AIs. And it's, oof. I don't know what else to say about it. I just want you guys to know how exasperated and how irritated I am by how bad the AI is. So my overall thoughts and opinions. Well, I think that in terms of Left 4 Dead style games, there is the very, very exceptional Back 4 Blood that just came out. I would recommend playing that. I think this game is about 3 to 6 months behind on development time. I think if you're to play it right now, it's the kind of game where if you jump in with some friends and you play the 3 chapters, there's gonna be nothing else. There's really nothing else to do. I don't see myself coming back to it just because there's such a lack of variety in the content. I don't see myself and my friends playing this one a lot. We might, as I said, play through the chapters, and then we're probably going to shelf it until there's some major updates and more content gets added. But in its current state, the game is very much lacking. It's lacking any sort of meaningful personality, and all it's doing is biting off of the Left 4 Dead style formula to create a game that's just hollow in its current state. The characters have their little quips and their little one-liners, but there's no explanation. There's no like story going on here, and I feel no connection to it. And with the lack of content, there's nothing to grind for. There's nothing to really do, and to me that's depressing. And that gives me nothing to achieve, nothing to play for. That's just me personally. And I definitely think this game probably should have waited a couple more months until they had some more stuff. I don't see this game having a lot of longevity, considering that there are much better titles in the same vein out there. Only time will tell whether this game has the gumption to sort of hold on and kind of find its place in the market right now. Because as I said, the very exceptional Back 4 Blood just came out, just a couple months ago, and that game is stellar. And comparatively playing this, it's like, holy cow, like this is the product that got pushed out to the public. It's kind of shocking. And furthermore, what shouldn't be shocking is the fact that I'm going to consider this game a hard pass. I would say check this game out in 3 months' time. I don't think there's a lot here. If you have Game Pass, download it and try it. I could recommend that, but I would not recommend spending money on this game in its current form, its current state. It's just lacking. There's very little content to sink your teeth into, and with the just how annoying the special type enemies are, I think this game needs a checkup from the neck up. You know what I'm saying? It needs more development time before I would consider it a product that I'd recommend to people. I don't recommend it in its current state. This game needs work. It needs a little help. It needs some milk before I would even consider it. This is like a demo. It feels like a demo to me. I understand that's what game preview is for, is to kind of like get it out there to the public so that they can essentially beta test your game for you, or alpha test or whatever. But this game is just diminished. You know what I mean? And in today's day and age, where most consumers are okay with games coming out in bad conditions, I'm not giving this game a pass. I will not give this game a pass. This game is what it is. It was fun for the couple hours I played, but I don't see myself returning until a major update is done. With that, everybody, make sure to leave a like, a dislike, comment, and subscribe for more if you're not already subscribed. And I'd love to hear your thoughts on the game if you've played it. Did you like it? Do you think it's the next hot thing? Or do you think it's a steaming pile? Let me know in the comments down below. And as always, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope to catch you in the next video.